Glad to welcome our state rep from the 108th, Patrick Callahan. I'm trying to start off a little bit light because I don't want to get too upset. Should we be getting all this upset about the electric rates and the increase and the whole kit and caboodle? I think so, but you are a wiser, saner, hanging out in Hartford voice, so you tell me.
Well, Bart, I've certainly never gotten more communication from constituents that are furious, upset, despondent. There's a week ago, Friday, had a woman come to our office in Hartford and put her head on the table and start crying, worried about going on welfare because of these electric rates. And it's numerous phone calls and emails a day, all of which I return because they want to hear what's going on and they have their own misconceptions. But we should be upset because these are legislative imposed increases, which I think that we should only be paying for what it takes to get the spark to your door, not pet projects.
Well, I happen to agree. And look, I'm not sitting here saying that electric vehicles, for instance, aren't a good idea once things are really worked out and once it can become affordable and once we're not putting the financial burden on everybody for the sake of some. But that's a lot of onces and ifs and all that stuff.
No, and I agree, Bart. We have the public benefits section of the bill was taken out and with legislative action and made separate so everyone could see it. So that's part of the issue. People are seeing the huge increases, but now they see where they're coming from. And you brought up electric vehicles. I think it's fine if you want to get one. But speaking to car dealers and reading articles about what the car dealers are going through, people don't want them because of charging anxiety, the lack of chargers that actually work when you're brought to them. The government now, through our ratepayers, providing incentives for either chargers or rebates, so to try and bolster up this EV market, which isn't selling on its own because there's consumer choice. And the state has tried a couple times to push taking away that consumer choice and forcing an EV mandate without understanding that, if you build a box around an electric vehicle, it certainly seems that there's less emissions than a car internal combustion engine if you build a box around it. But let's figure in all the other factors. You're plugging that car into the wall, but that power's coming from somewhere, and 60% of it in Connecticut is natural gas. So you're trading tailpipe for smokestack, and you're also driving up everybody else's energy rates. Not to mention the grid fragility or the roadway fragility, dealing with the huge weight increase of these cars on our roads and bridges.
Yeah, and again, I'm not against people's choice. Whatever your choice is, that's peachy. Just don't make me pay for your choice.
When it comes to the EV rebates, when it comes to batteries, when it comes to all these things are so expensive that the only way they're marketable is with subsidies. So people take advantage of subsidies, and the way I've stated it is talking about stealing from the poor to give to the rich, a reverse Robin Hood effect. These cars are very expensive, and now ratepayers are going to pay for the chargers and rebates for more wealthy people to buy these expensive cars and install chargers. But but it's more than that. A big part of the increase was we're paying for 4 years of people that didn't pay their bills during COVID, longer than any other state in the union. And then we asked the governor to please use actual COVID funds for this COVID expense. And instead that was given out to special interests, and instead was put on the ratepayers. And we could still go back and find the money because there's a rainy day fund. There's a $329 million surplus. We can go back and pay those off because this is an escalating charge that when your bill goes up, that public benefits charge goes up. So, and I'll talk about the millstone portion of it if you want, but I don't want to monopolize your radio show here.
I'm with you. Patrick, look, I appreciate your time today. We're going to bring you back in a couple of weeks, and we're going to talk a little bit about Candlewood and Squan's, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's near and dear to me, Bart. As you know, I was the longest serving chairman of the Cannabis Lake Authority.
State Rep from the 108th, Patrick Callahan. I appreciate your time today, my friend.
Thank you, sir.